I thought I was babysitting twins until I counted 3 kids in the house. The Caldwell family seemed perfect when I met them at the coffee shop downtown. Catherine Caldwell wore a crisp white blouse and had this warm smile that immediately put me at ease. Her husband David stood beside her, scrolling through his phone while she explained they needed a sitter for their 6-year-old twins, Oliver and Olivia. The pay was exceptional, $40 an hour for weekend evenings, and they lived just 15 minutes from my apartment. I'd been struggling to cover textbooks for my nursing program, so when Catherine slid a business card across the table with their address, I didn't hesitate. They wanted to start this Saturday, which gave me 3 days to prepare. Catherine texted me detailed instructions about bedtime routines, allergies neither twin had any, and emergency contacts. Everything felt professional and organized. She even sent photos of the twins, 2 blonde kids with matching dimples, so I'd recognize them easily. The house was a massive colonial on Evergreen Lane, the kind with a circular driveway and professionally landscaped gardens that probably cost more than my entire year's tuition. Saturday arrived and I showed up at 6 p.m. sharp, clutching my backpack full of textbooks I planned to study once the kids were asleep. Catherine answered the door in an elegant black dress, pearl earrings catching the porch light. She ushered me inside quickly, heels clicking on the marble floor of the foyer. David was already in the car, she explained. They had reservations across town and were running late. The twins were in the playroom upstairs, second door on the left. She'd left pizza money on the kitchen counter and her cell number was on the fridge. Before I could ask any questions, she was gone, the front door closing with a soft click that echoed through the enormous entryway. The house smelled like vanilla and expensive cleaning products, the kind of scent that screamed wealth. I climbed the curved staircase, my sneakers silent on the plush carpet runner. Family photos lined the wall, mostly the twins in various stages of childhood, beach vacations, birthday parties, school pictures with identical smiles. At the landing, I turned left and counted doors. Second one on the left stood slightly ajar, cartoon voices drifting into the hallway. I knocked gently and pushed it open. The playroom was huge, filled with more toys than any kids could possibly need, and there they were, 3 children sitting on the floor around a board game. I froze in the doorway, counting again to make sure I wasn't seeing things. 1, 2, 3 kids, all blonde, all around the same age. 2 girls in matching pink dresses and a boy in a blue polo shirt. They looked up at me with identical faces, same dimples, same blue eyes. My brain stuttered trying to process what I was seeing. "Hi," the boy said casually. "Are you Amy? Mom said you were coming." I managed to nod, my mouth suddenly dry. "I'm Oliver," he continued, pointing to himself, then gestured to the girls. "That's Olivia, and that's Ophelia." Ophelia. Catherine hadn't mentioned a third child. I scanned the room for some explanation. Maybe a neighbor kid had come over to play, but the way they sat together felt permanent, familiar, like siblings who'd spent their whole lives in this room. "Your mom told me she had twins," I said carefully, trying to keep my voice steady. The 3 of them exchanged glances, some silent communication passing between them. "Oh," Olivia said, her voice eerily similar to her brother's. "Mom probably forgot to mention Ophelia. That happens sometimes." "That happens sometimes?" What kind of explanation was that? I pulled out my phone, thinking I'd text Catherine for clarification, but my screen showed no signal. That was strange. I'd had full bars in the driveway. I walked to the window, holding my phone up, watching the bars remain stubbornly absent. "Wi-Fi password?" I asked, trying to sound casual. Oliver rattled off a string of numbers and letters that I typed into my phone. "Password incorrect." "Are you sure that's right?" I asked. All 3 kids nodded in unison, that synchronized movement sending a chill down my spine. "Maybe try the one downstairs," Ophelia suggested. "It's different on each floor." Different Wi-Fi on each floor seemed excessive even for a house this size, but I filed that concern away with the growing list of oddities. Now that I was looking properly, I could see tiny differences. Oliver had a small scar above his left eyebrow. Olivia's hair was slightly longer than Ophelia's, and Ophelia had a spattering of freckles across her nose that her sister lacked, but the resemblance was uncanny, far more similar than typical siblings. "How old are you guys?" I asked. "We're 6, they said together, that simultaneous response making me flinch. "All of you are 6? Same birthday?" They nodded again, those matching faces splitting into matching smiles. Triplets. Catherine had said twins. Why would she lie about having triplets, unless something was seriously wrong with one of the kids, some issue she didn't want to explain to a new babysitter? I tried my phone again, still no signal. The Wi-Fi still refusing to connect. The pizza money sat downstairs on the counter, but suddenly the idea of calling for delivery felt impossible without a working phone. "Are you guys hungry?" I asked, standing up. "We already ate," Olivia said. "Mom fed us before she left." That seemed unlikely given the pizza money, but I wasn't going to argue with kids I'd known for 5 minutes. "Can we go outside?" Oliver asked suddenly. "To the playhouse? We want to show you something." That's when I made the biggest mistake of my life. Full story is linked below or on my channel.